Hello everybody, welcome to another Tao of Peace martial arts instructional video. I'm Instructor Ian and we are going into our second look in weapons today, and we're going to be focusing on Sinawali as well as the inside fighting drills that are going to be associated with that. So first of all, I'm going to be using numbers for strikes today. So if you're not familiar with those numbers, make sure you check the first video that talks about weapon angles and where the numbers come from and everything like that. But today we're going to start off in our same stance as before, okay? And we're going to be focusing on the 4 basic strikes of our 9 angles, all right? But we're going to do them in a little bit different angle or a different order today. So the first one, we're going to angle 1, and we're going to do something called a lop tick. A lop tick is a strike that goes through. So when we did our 9 angles before, we cut straight through. That's our lop tick. Okay, so we're going to start with an angle 1 lop tick. From here, we're going to have the stick chambered on our other side. Now we're going to go into angle 2, but it's going to be a wood tick. A wood tick is a tap, so you hit and pull back. Okay, so for angle 2, I'm coming upwards diagonally. The moment I hit, I pull back the stick. Okay, from there, I'm going to go into an angle 4. So this is where the angles go a little bit wonky right now. So now I go into angle 4, where I go into my lop tick. Straight through, keep the stick chambered, and then from there I go into angle 3 into a wood tick where I go up and pull back. So a Sinawali motion is angle 1 lop tick, angle 2 wood tick, angle 4 lop tick, and then angle 3 wood tick, okay? And when you're doing this, really make sure that for those lop ticks you are showing that ball exchange. So for angle 1, I turn, I stay. I don't do a ball exchange on my wood tick for angle 2. On angle 4, I turn, I do my ball exchange, and then angle 3, I stay still, okay? So now when you're applying this, I'm lucky enough to have a bob. If you have a punching bag, that's awesome. From what I hear, I've never been there, but in the Philippines when they train, they have like a stack of tires. So you can use that if you want, you know, if you have a bunch of tires in your backyard. But if you do, that's weird. Anyways, so from here, if I'm using bob as a reference point here, I'm going to go into my angle 1. Once again, it's my lop tick, so it should be a powerful strike. Through. Then I go into angle 2, where I go upwards, and I pull it back. Okay? Immediately from there, I go into angle 4, downwards on the other side, and then from there, I go into angle 3, upwards, and then I pull back. So ideally, you do it without stopping. So it's angle 1, angle 2, angle 4, angle 3. 2, 4, 3. 1, 2, 4, 3. And go from there, okay? Great way to work on your wrist strength, but also a great way to work on the power and structure that you're going to need for that, okay? Now, let's say that you use bob a lot, you feel very comfortable with it, and you have someone who's also wants to train. This is where your partner can come in. So I'm going to ask Instructor Brad to come in. And from here, what's going to happen, oh, thank you, Instructor Brad. We're going to do the exact same drill as before. So we're going to start a little bit far away, okay? So we have our range right now. And now we're both going to do the angle 1 lop tick. Go through. Then we go into angle 2, or go upwards, pull back. Then we go into angle 4, downwards, back. And then we go into angle 3, upwards and back. So we're going to do it non-stop. So angle 1, angle 2, angle 4, angle 3. 1, 2, 4, 3, and go from there, okay? So once you get used to that and you both have that ball exchange for your lop ticks and you're feeling like you're bouncing well for your wood ticks, this is where you can then work on your inside fighting drill, okay? And if you remember, I talked last time about the puño here, the bottom of the stick. You're going to see this come up a lot now, okay? So from here, we're going to start with our normal Sinawali. So we're going to do our 4 count starting off. So we go angle 1, angle 2, angle 4, angle 3. Then we go angle 1, and then before we go into angle 2, I'm going to actually kind of close Instructor Brad off as I jam his arm. Okay, so you can see the stick is on his arm. My other hand is pushing his hand back. Okay, now I'm really close range. It's going to be hard for me to hit him with the tip of my stick or anything. So this is where the puño comes in. So I'm going to bring my hand to my armpit. So the stick is underneath, and from here I'm going to try and hit him in the face with the puño. As I do, he grabs my wrist, and then from there he can repeat. and we can work on that. Okay, we can do that non-stop over and over again, and then we come back. Okay, so that's the basic first part of inside fighting drill. Okay, so now if we do it again, one, boom, I come in here. Now instead of, we just go one, patty cake or whatever, as instructor Brad pulls my wrist down, he's then going to pull his hand back and step back. From here, he's then going to try and rake me right in the face with the puño. I'm going to then make sure my live hand grabs onto his wrist. I'm going to step back as I can. I feed his stick through. From here, my stick comes in and I can either repeat with the same thing. We can just do that once again, non-stop. Aiming for each other's face, we're going straight in. Back up, and we go all over again. So that's the second part where you're doing kind of like a Norman Bates strike for that, okay? So now there's the third and final part of our inside fighting drill, and that's with just a straight stab. So from here we come in, 1, 2, we do the full Sinawali, I close, okay? From here I do the puño, boom, pushes in, he does the rake. Now from here, as I push his stick past, my stick is going to come in and I'm going to stab him. As I do, he's going to do a reverse brush block, pushing the stick out of the way, and then he stabs me. Boom. And we can just keep going non-stop. Look like a bunch of gorillas fighting right now. Guerrilla warfare. Anyway, so from here, what's going to happen is now you go back and do it again, or you can combine them all and just rep through it. So if you watch, we do it slow motion, combining it. So we go to full Sinawali. I close it. From here, I puño strike first. Oh, sorry. That's okay. So we do the puño strike. From there, he's then going to bring it back. As he does, he hits. I feed. He blocks as I stab. He steps back. And then we can go all over again into our Sinawali. Okay? So one more time when we do it. 1, 2, 4, 3, 1, close. 1. He then rakes. From here, I stab. He steps back, and we go back into Sinawali. Boom. 1, 2, good. And then back into it. Does that make sense, guys? So I hope that clears up. Now, one final thing before we finish off. A lot of us might, when we do this for a long period of time, we start making our angles kind of circular like this. So it's like angle 1, angle 2, angle 4, angle 3. It's not necessarily realistic. You want to make sure that instead of circles, you have tight angles. So make sure 1, 2, 4, 3, you're having the correct angle for every strike when you do it. Okay? Thank you so much, Instructor Brad. Everybody, thank you for watching. I hope this will help you in your training. Good luck and namaste.